Let me pick your brain on something else. Kanye West, his album, Jesus is King.
Right.
2021, it won the best contemporary.
It won everything.
There you go. I don't need.
As a matter of fact, watch this. I knocked him out of the number one spot. He was number one forever. And I came in and knocked him out of the number one spot in 2021. That is, yes, I did it.
Go ahead, Bishop.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of gospel people have a problem with it, with him.
Because that's where I'm going.
Yeah,
what is your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't trip on that kind of stuff, man. I mean, because, well, let me say it like this. How can I say this? See, you asking me all these questions that most people don't ask me. Gospel music is the only genre that allows people from outside of its genre to do records and be nominated in its genre. If I, as a gospel artist, I can't do a hip hop song and be nominated in the hip hop
correct
category. Correct. Lil Nas, you brought him up. This is perfect. The country song he did, the rap song, they threw him out of all of the CMA stuff.
Yep.
Because they was like, he's not country. Only in gospel can you be a gospel artist. You can be a hip hop artist, you can be an R&B artist and be nominated in our genre. So a lot of our people get offended that have done and or are doing gospel when people from outside our genre get the opportunity to be nominated for awards in our genre. How do I feel about it? And it's kind of wrong for me to say it like this. I've been nominated for everything. I've won more awards than most people will ever win. So I'm cool with it. I'm like, hey, whatever, and maybe I'm cool with it because, I'm looking in a curio.
You at the top of the hill looking.
I'm just looking at it differently. But I can absolutely sympathize with up and coming artists when you look at Billboard and Kanye's whole record is in like 1 through 40, of our genre. Do I think that it's fair? Now I think about it, it's not. I don't think that it's fair at all. And I think what ends up happening is it ends up eclipsing those of us who really do this for the genre and as a lifestyle. Yeah, that was good, Marvin. Yeah, that was good. So those that really do it for the genre and for the lifestyle. But, it happens. I mean, Billboard does it, Mediabase does it. All of these different, streaming platforms, if an R&B hip hop artist comes along and they do something that's gospel oriented, they'll bring it over into our genre and we embrace them. But that's not something that happens across genres. As a matter of fact, Lil Nas X is an excellent example of how, the CMAs fought it and threw him out and he wasn't able to be nominated for nothing.
Correct.
In there. And if we did it, it would look like we not Christian. No, what I'm saying? They be like, they just, I can't believe they supposed to be saved and they fighting to get Kanye. Well, no, I don't know if that necessarily has to do anything with our religious position or our spiritual position, but I think it does have something to do with, making sure that the playing field is fair. Kanye ain't a gospel artist. He's not. He's just not. He hip hop. He's not a gospel artist. And just because you do a gospel song don't make you a gospel artist. So, maybe they should revisit that kind of stuff more often. But, I'm talking on the behalf of those who are coming up because that's not my issue. I knocked him off to the top. That's all I know. 2021, 2021, he was killing them forever. And then when my record dropped, he disappeared for 3 weeks. He came back after 3, but he disappeared for 3 weeks.
Some, because there's a few places I want to go before I let you go, if that's okay.
That's cool.
You have so many hit records, and I could be bugging right now, but you don't ever do collabs. Like I never see no features on you. Like, is Marvin Sapp?
You have done your homework.
I'm just thinking about this right now. I'm like, hold up. Because I was going, because, we talking about Kanye, and I was thinking about, you did a record with Snoop, but it was for Snoop. And then Snoop. I'm like, yo, have I ever heard anybody on Marvin Sapp album?
I've never done a collab. And let me tell you why I've never done a collab record. I've never done a collab record because my fear has always been, what if that record is my hit? How am I going to perform it? If I don't have a person that I did the collab with me to perform with me on the stage. So the reason why I've never done a collab is because, I always wanted to make sure that I could perform my hit record just being me on stage. So out of 15 albums, 15, I've never done a collab. But you know what? I may do it soon though, just because I just feel like doing some different stuff musically. And, like my next record may be a record full of collabs. I don't know. But then at the same token, who would want to collab with me? Because that's I know people that, I might would want to collab with, that's not necessarily gospel, but that have a gospel passion. But no, I've never done a collab ever in my life.
Yeah, I was trying to think as you were speaking, and I knew where I was going to go with the conversation. I'm like, I can't think of one feature that he's ever had on any of his records.
No, not one. Not one at all.
Okay.
Man, we gotta go, man. Let me get up out of here. Come on.
Come on. You got 2 more questions, and I'm gonna let you out.
Okay, cool.
I can't let you go without talking about you was an executive producer.
Yeah. I forgot all about that. We done had so much fun. Yeah, man. I did a movie.
Yes, you did. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes, I did a movie. And you know what's funny? What's funny is again, we was talking about earlier how it's not like I woke up one day and said, you know what, one day I'm gonna do a movie. Like I was a kid and stuff and said, one day I'm gonna do a movie. This opportunity came to me, and for 2 years, I told the people no. For 2 years, I was like, nah, I ain't interested.
Why? That's such an honor.
I'm gonna tell you why because again, we was talking about it earlier. I have a real problem with how, preachers, as well as those of us in the urban community, have been depicted in television. So I've turned down so many docuseries. I've turned down so many opportunities to do stuff like that because I wanted to have a certain level of control. Because, I don't want people telling my story the way they want to tell it. I want my story to be told the way I feel like it should be told. So we went back and forth, and TV One, along with Swirl Films, they just really, they got it. And I finally said, okay. And I was not only the executive producer, I co-wrote, as well as I starred in my own biopic called Never Would Have Made It, the Marvin Sapp Story. And I was an executive producer in name only. It wasn't like a glorified title. I was a part of choosing, if you will, the stars. I was a part of going through and looking through all of the different reels that was sent, audition reels. I was part of the editing process. I was a part of the write and the rewriting and the bump and all of this kind of stuff. And then I starred in my own movie, and it was fun, but it was also therapeutic. And because it was fun as well as therapeutic, it's something that I would probably want to do again, just simply because I got my feet wet in a different area of entertainment, from a content standpoint. So I had a ball, man. I can honestly say I had a ball doing it. And I had some people contact me, say, "Do you think you would ever do something like this again?" I was like, absolutely. If I could come up with something or find something that, piqued my interest, that I would want to attach my name to as executive producer, or even, sit down with some amazing writers and put together something that I think that would be inspirational, but real, and relatable, I would definitely do it again. The numbers went through the roof at TV One, and I'm really, really, really grateful. Like the Russ Parr and all of the guys, I'm grateful to everybody that worked so hard to make sure that we put out something that was comical, that was real, that was relatable, that was inspirational and spiritual all at the same time. So, I can honestly say I'm absolutely proud of this piece
Beautiful.
that we got to put out, because it not only told my life story in a condensed way, hopefully it gave hope to a parent, to let them know that even though your child may be wayward right now, that there's still hope. Hopefully it gave hope to, a husband or a wife whose wife may be deteriorating right before their eyes, and they needed some encouragement to say that you can make it after this. So, I mean, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's on demand now. TV One. Never would have made it. Marvin Sapp Story.
You have done so much in your career. Entrepreneur. I know in Grand Rapids you had the beauty parlor.
Still own it.
Barbershop. That you still own it.
I still own it. Yeah.
The school
Yeah.
out there that you and your wife started. The church. Hit records. 15 albums. The movie. What is next for you? Like, are you not empty at this point?
Heck no.
God,
man, listen.
Really?
Not even close. One of the things that I'm doing now, actually, I'm signing a document on this coming Friday. I've always been into real estate, and I love it. And I own a ton of stuff still in Grand Rapids. The only thing I sold in Grand Rapids was my home and another piece of property, another piece of commercial property that I bought. Finally finishing up some things post-COVID, even though we're still in COVID, but post-COVID, finish up some things with my banking relationships. Next year, I'm planning on buying at least 12 homes. I've just finished up some line of credit stuff. So I'm buying about 12 homes here in the DFW area that I'm going to be possibly flipping. I want to keep 3 of them and do residential independent living. Going into partnership with my son to do some residential independent living, along with I'm having a meeting tonight, believe it or not, dealing with the clothing line. I also have an eyeglass line that's going to be coming out. Man, I want to die empty, meaning that no regrets. And then I'm at a place in my mindset now that it's about making sure and ensuring that my children's children, not mine, but I want to make sure that my grandchildren are straight. My kids, good. They gonna be great. But now it's about leaving a legacy. The Bible says it. It says that we're supposed to leave an inheritance for our children's children. And now I'm trying to figure out ways to ensure that my grandbabies are straight. And this is a part of it, real estate, clothing lines, and when I talk about clothing lines, I'm not talking about like blue jeans and stuff like that. I'm talking about suits, custom suits, quality, bespoke clothing. And I have my own network called Elevate Media and Entertainment, Elevate TV, actually.
Yep.
And Elevate TV is my own network. So we're putting together content. I'm looking at what Vlad is doing. I'm like, this is amazing. So just looking at not necessarily the model, but just looking at how this is the new shift in paradigm. One of the things I've done at my home, I stay in what they call an equestrian development. Like I got a bunch of land and everybody in my neighborhood got horses. So I took this big old barn and built this huge barn, and that's my recording studio is, and a big podcast studio there. It's like 2,400 square feet. And, my SSL and everything's up in there. I mean, I decided to recalibrate and reinvent as we move forward in this new age of content creators. So, and then a part of it is as well is I may have all the equipment, but gathering young minds to be able to bring them around, man, to be able to use the stuff and, help me to take what I envision to the next level because, my mind is 55. See, I remember cassettes and LPs before we got to streaming. There are kids that don't even know nothing about, cassettes, LPs, 45s and stuff. I remember showing my kids at my mother's house a 45. And it's like, what is this? I was like, this is a single. And it's like, a single what? I said, this is what we used to play. And see this little thing? You put in there a little thing, you put the disc in it, and then you put it in there and you let it play. And it's like, what is this? This is a record player. What the heck is a record player? I was like, oh my God, So being able to grow to this place, I don't know everything about this new era, but I do know this. Get you some good young folks around you and they can keep you current. And that's what my goal is.
Yeah, you don't have to know everything.
You don't, man.
You don't. You all you have to do is get people around that's smarter than you in these areas. And
that's what I'm doing.
The goal.
That's what I'm doing.
Bishop, you have been a blessing to myself, and you have been a blessing to millions. Just your life, your message, your voice. It has been a blessing, and that is such a compliment to who you are as a human being. I wish you all of the best. I wish you success in this next half of your life. I wish that you find love again. And you taking the time to sit with me, I know it's going to be a blessing that to everyone who comes into contact with these words in this interview. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you. Have a great one. I got to roll. Peace.
Peace.